Bonjour, salut, hello mes amis. It is William calling from wiwibloggs. And Monroe, she has revealed her song for Eurovision 2026. It is called Regarde. And you better watch that one.
Bonjour! Hey, William.
Should we watch and react?
Let's do this!
Regarde, of course, is to look, to watch. And you better look at our girl Monroe. She is a 17-year-old French-American. She won a talent show in France, Prodiges, and now she is ready to make a run at Eurovision. She is currently among the favorites to win the contest. France has consistently been second favorite with the bookies. This song is all about celebrating the richness of all musical cultures, from the emotional power of opera to the theatricality of musicals and the modernity of pop. Among others, this song was co-written by Violin Phonics. They are the most popular French violin duo of their generation. And her team say the song was written to be a cry from the heart and a hymn to love, to the simple and powerful truth that despite our differences and struggles, love is everywhere and remains our common language. And speaking of language, these are the lyrics. When everything lights up all across Paris and the streets fall silent, I stay here. I searched for your love in every neighborhood. I sing every day. Look at me, look at yourself. That's what love is. It strikes you like lightning. Look at me, look at yourself. That's what love is. You will never be lost. I do wonder what Timothy Chalamet would think of this song. We are hitting play.
Cute. I know she's 17, but she looks really much younger than
Very
that.
French already.
Wow.
You better hit that button. Ooh. Drama.
Beautiful, striking, poise.
Those eyes.
And she looks 17.
Goosebumps.
Beautiful voice.
Oh, the intensity.
That formation is moving from hit me baby one more time to...
Oh!
the rite of spring at this point.
She is in charge. The power.
Those chains in her braid.
Ooh. The movement fits so well. Oh, you are France's next top model. Walk!
I find this a little bit boring, actually. I recognize that she has an amazing voice, but I'm just not moved. Know my name,
She's good. She is so good. Oh, ho, ho!
just sounds like a warm-up exercise for some prima donna to take the stage, you know, for a Marriage of Figaro or, you know, some big opera production.
Oh, hold it, girl. Diva. Diva. Diva.
Okay.
She says shh. But let me tell you, that performance, it was not shh. It was fulsome. It was big. It was powerful. It was in your face. And yet it was classical, refined, and beautiful.
Ariana Grande has got a 5-octave vocal range, right? So she can do this type of music, but here's the thing, she doesn't. And she offers something much more of today, contemporary, allowing movement, you know, expression, you know, compelling acting in music videos, just of today. This music, I just don't think any radio station will ever play this. It just sounds horribly dated. It's just overly dramatic. But of course, underscoring all of this is a great voice, there's no doubt. Great voice, great talent, really beautiful. She's an emerging star that has made her mark, really, in French music. So it's a great pleasure to actually have Monroe as part of, you know, the 2026 stable. But I just wish that the composition was just much more her and just much more 2026. I don't know. I'm not that excited about this. If this wasn't in Eurovision, I probably would have skipped it. And although it's not terrible, it just feels like, okay, Austria won with the, you know, opera type thing. You know, so let's echo that. You know, Switzerland won the year before as well. Nemo was this kind of, you know, it was almost like Bohemian Rhapsody in 3 minutes. Let's compose something that not even nods to that, but something that is considered the formulation for Eurovision victory. It just sounds really formulaic and I'm not excited by it. Yeah, I'm not.
This is really special. So a lot of people will say that Austria, JJ, opera, Nemo, Switzerland, opera. Yes, they definitely had operatic qualities. JJ, of course, is an established opera singer. This is a different flavor of opera, right? You cannot say all opera is the same. There is shade, there is variation, and this is its own take on opera, and I'm liking this take. I think that Monroe feels very fresh, right? She's young, she's excited, she's enthusiastic, and all of that comes through, and I think that warms up opera. Sometimes people view opera as cold, distant, rarefied, like not for them. But Monroe, because she is accessible, because she has this intensity, this connection with the camera, she invites you in and you feel like you are welcome to this arena, right? You don't have to be an opera expert or an opera enthusiast even to appreciate this. The choreography, the way she's styled, the setting of this video, it makes it very relevant to viewers of today. I enjoyed watching that. I felt like I was watching, I don't know, what was that show, Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Like you were in some kind of high school, Bring It On, Clueless, name your movie. But you were in some kind of like high school or college setting and like there was gonna be a group choreo number, a big fight in the cafeteria, a fight at the dance, whatever you wanna call it. It felt cinematic and yet it was classy and elevated. This is doing a great job of taking high art and making it accessible to the masses, but it's also taking something that's accessible to the masses and, you know, allowing people who appreciate opera to appreciate it. It's going in both directions. Inevitably, people will make comparisons with Rosalia. They'll say, oh, you know, strings and opera. Well, let me tell y'all something. Rosalia did not invent strings in opera, okay? She did not invent violin flourishes. No, she did not. Maybe she's helping popularize it again. That is a fair point. But I think there's plenty of space within opera, within intense strings for Monroe. It is not a copy, because this is her own flavor. This is the Monroe take on a broader genre.
But when you look at Monroe here, right, she's got all the ingredients for something really quite amazing. She's 17 years old. Her age doesn't, this is not like a pity entry for a 17-year-old, like, oh, she's 17, so we can't say anything sort of negative about. She holds her own. She looks great. She's a compelling performer. And in terms of the movement, the elements of contemporary, like the whole wardrobe of the school uniform was kind of taking me back to Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time. Less provocative, but certainly that brought a youthful energy to the package. I just see so much potential here, but it's not taking flight in the direction that I would have hoped.
Opera has had great success at Eurovision, as we've mentioned. The past 2 winners have included elements of opera, but even reach back to Cesar Watu. Do you remember our man Dracula from Romania? Was it 2013? He was in the final. Alina Nachayeva from Estonia, was she top 10? She did very well. And I think in both of those instances, actually in all 4 of these instances, their success has hinged not just on the voice or the style, but on the staging, how you present it. Can you make it accessible to the masses? And I think France, they're going to take a risk. France is going to take a risk. Our girl Alexandra, head of delegation, she loves to take risks. Think about Lazara on that podium. Think about Luen, in a football stadium, a rugby stadium, being lowered from the sky. Think about Luen being locked in a sandstorm with sand flying down her throat, sand flying in her hair. They take risks. And that's what I love about the French delegation in recent years, is they've not been afraid to be like, okay, this is daring, this may not work, but let's do it. And more often than not, it does work because they have the vision, they execute well. And this, what are they going to do to her? Are they going to put her on top of a mini Eiffel Tower that's on fire? Are they going to put her in a cannonball and shoot her out while she's hitting a high note? Who knows? I just know that it'll be big and it'll be daring. I'm just flipping through, literally, I'm randomly flipping through this YouTube video, and every single frame Monroe is hitting, and there's eye contact, there's a pose, there's power, there's self-control. She's just very self-possessed and just unfazed by this experience. And that's what makes this so exciting. France has had great success with Junior Eurovision, right? With young stars. Monroe is obviously a young woman. She's not, a preteen, but she's giving me both the excitement of youth, sort of that carefree energy, and then the poise, the power, the diva of an adult seasoned singer. And this is just beautiful to see. I want to read some comments from the wiwibloggs Instagram. This is Ore Bonoki. I have to say, I was kind of worried that France would send a Nemo JJ lookalike, but Monroe really is the only Monroe. What a presence, no need to mention her voice. If the staging matches the mood of the video clip, there is so much potential here. Absolutely, that's a great summary. This is JESC_ESCX Hearts. Huge chance for winning this time. JESC and ESC would be so iconic. She's gonna sing classical music. This is Hélène SRD235. Ma diva, trop contente pour toi, tu es une winner. Ma diva, very happy for you. You are a winner. This is Don Leonelli, incredible voice. She should have picked a different song that didn't sound like Berghain. That is, of course, a Rosalia reference. But again, copy and paste my comments from earlier with unique different staging. This will not give you Berghain. This will give you Monroe Regarde. This is Ali Thahaj, not more bloody opera, lovely voice, but my least favorite French entry in years. And this is Taga Key video. She will give us thrills in Vienna.
You know, France is really interesting in terms automatic qualifiers every year. You know, they go through to the Eurovision Grand Final. But, you know, there have been some years when, you know, artists have gone through very competitive national selections. Madame Monsieur come to mind, Bilal Hassani come to mind. You know, they've had to fight their way to earn that spot. Miss Monroe was handed to her, you know, from French television, and worthy, but she didn't have to fight for it. And typically, when you internally select an act, it's because you're really invested in the vision of that act and you've given them a song that truly cuts through, and an overall package that you don't want to see eliminated through democratic channels. So you're pushing it through, rubber stamping it, giving it that thumbs up endorsement. This, I just kind of feel like the final product of that doesn't merit an internal selection. Had this come through a much more democratic process, I would have been like, okay, it's what French people wanted. But that's not the case here. And, you know, yeah, I mean, classical music is one thing, and I think that it has been done successfully at Eurovision. I mean, JJ comes to mind, but there was also Alina Nachieva. There was also Alinka Gorta. I'm trying to think who else has done, you know, opera. Nemo, of course, bits of it certainly. Yeah, you know, it's been even France in 2011. Wasn't that opera? Yes, it was. Yeah, so France has done it before as well. Yeah, it just feels a little bit underwhelming for me, quite honestly. Yeah, great voice, misguided outcomes. Yeah.
All right, well, look, this is hugely promising. Can this win the Eurovision Song Contest 2026? Yes, this is a contender depending on the staging. France has once again put itself near the top as a frontrunner, and I really hope they can stand their ground and give us something as dramatic and inspiring as the song, because if they do that, then yes, they can win. Juries are absolutely gonna love this, and now it's just a matter of getting, you know, a huge swath of the population on board, and you can do that with staging. All right, well, that's what we think. What do you think? Is France one to beat? Are you impressed with Monroe? Let us know here on wiwibloggs.
Follow wiwibloggs on Pinterest, and we will see you later.
And we'll see you later. Bye!